Hand in the air. That's not too bad, not too bad. How many people would say, I love to speak publicly. I love it, and I embrace it. Okay, good. They say that the statistic on this thing is somewhere in the ballpark about 65% of Americans are terrified of public speaking. So if you're one that says that you're scared of it, it's okay. How do you move through that? That's really the question. How do you move past those things that we're not sure about? How many of you would say in the past week, somebody has told you, I love it when there's humor going on. I love it. Keep the humor going. I love the smiles. Because let me ask you this. How many would you say, raise your hand, would you say in the past week somebody has told you that you have to take the SAT and you have to do well with it? How many have said that you have to start applying and looking for colleges? How many have said you need a 3.5 or a 4.0 or you're not going to succeed in life? How many times has somebody told you you better find your passion? Because if you don't find your passion, you're going to be in a pickle. It's just not going to work out for you. So all those questions I just asked, put all those hands back up if you raise your hand in the last 35 seconds. Oh my gosh. So we're bombarded with that, aren't we? Bombarded with it every single day about how you need to do this and you need to do that. I'm going to just say this. Stop. Stop. Rather than focus on that, let's focus on the journey. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the journey of life. I'm talking about the situation that is the fact that you might not wake up tomorrow. Look to your right and to your left. There is a statistic that says that we have a high likelihood of not waking up tomorrow. And then what we should do here and now, right? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? What we should do right now, however, is we should cherish the moments that we have because there is no guarantee. And so we can focus all of our energy and all of our attention on how we have to pass the SAT and how we have to have a 3.5. We need to start a club and we got to do extracurricular, all of which, ladies and gentlemen, are important. But if we use all our energy to do that, there's going to be some things that we miss along the way. And it's the journey of life. Nothing's guaranteed. You will not believe what I thought my life would consist of when I sat in your chairs. How many years ago was that? Let's play the old man game. How many of you think that I'm under 40? Over 40? Over 50? 50? Under 40? Okay, good, thanks for playing. 42. So in 1994, I graduated from high school in Louisiana, and then I went to boot camp to become a Marine. Does anybody have any military aspirations? Probably one or two. Who would absolutely not do that? There's no way I'm going to the military. Okay, cool. Very good. Just always good to get a good feel for where we're at with that. So as the journey has continued, what I've noticed along this path and along this way is that it's constantly evolving and changing. And those things that I thought were going to be that didn't become, opened my eyes. Opened my eyes really to the need to focus on the here and the now. And the here and the now is really what I want to talk about today. The here and the now. And how we can cherish that. So I have a PowerPoint slideshow. Why? Because it's just going to kind of help me tell this story. I promise I will not waste your time with PowerPoint slides. I'm simply using them as a guiding feature. I even have a video that I want to show you as well. But before we can get to that thing, I have to start the story with this. I can remember like it was a moment ago when I talked to my wife on the phone as I was on a Navy ship off the coast of Africa. And she said to me these words, which I'll never really ever forget. She said, "It's confirmed, it's terminal." At that moment in time, I went through a flood of emotions. And I stopped for a second to take a step back and ask you, do you understand what I'm saying when I say terminal? That means the end is defined. And it's a matter of how much time we have until the terminal happens. So right now, what we don't know in this room, most of us, is when we will die. We don't know. But I do know this, you will die. Imagine if I was able to tell you, however, when you will die. What would you do? You would probably do everything that I just mentioned earlier. You would probably cherish every moment, and you would live like there's no guarantee for tomorrow. So why don't we live our lives in a way that allows us to celebrate it and to enjoy it? Let's throw the PowerPoint up there for a minute. It's going to pop on this screen and we're going to talk about it. These are some people that I know because they're my family. On the far right there, you see the five of us. My wife, Lori, my high school sweetheart. How many of you are high school sweetheart things going on right now? Anybody? Yeah, a couple of you? It's possible. It's possible you may very well find yourself, you see them, they're everywhere, got it, okay. You never know. You never know. It could very well occur. That's my wife on the far side there. She's the pretty lady on that slide everywhere. We have 3 kids. The bottom one there, you see Briley and Ainsley and Camden. That's the clan. We got married, Marine Corps wedding, 4th of July, 1998. It was a good time. How many of you were born after 1998? Everybody? Okay, myself. So that's where we were. And we decided at some point along this journey that we needed to live our life in a way that focused it on those special moments. Let's go to the next slide. So I had to go to Iraq because that's what most Marines did in the 2003 to 2009 time frame. So I did that a couple times. And one time I wrote a letter to my kids before I left. I like to do that. And the top piece right there is what I wrote in the letter. I wrote each one of the kids a little note. In this case to Ainsley, I wrote that to her. Only to find out a couple of months later that she may not ever even walk, much less run. And that's kind of devastating. Next slide. That takes me to that phone call, really, where my wife told me it's terminal. Infantile neuroaxonal dystrophy. Ugh. About as ugly and nasty as it sounds. What is it? You can read. That's what it was doing to Ainsley's body from the age of birth until she died in February of 2016. We had an opportunity in 2008, 2007, 2006 to hide, to crawl under a rock, to feel sorry for ourselves, to hide Ainsley from people, to focus on the negatives. That was our opportunity. Or cherish life, because we know that there is no guarantee. I got home from deployment, we moved to Virginia, built a house in 2007 right here in Virginia Beach. Got our provider network established, our physical therapist, our speech therapist, the doctor for this, that, and the other thing, and we started living. Slide, please. Because we started living, smiles started happening. August of 2008, Ainsley had her first opportunity to run in a race, despite the fact that she's never walked. When those smiles radiated and the wind running induced smiles happened, I knew immediately that this was something she enjoyed. Guess who's not a runner? You might be like, yeah, but you're a Marine. Yeah, which as a Marine, it means that you have to run twice a year. Not a runner in 2007, 2008. But when I saw that on my daughter's face, my point to you is that there's no SAT, there's no 4.0, there's no college diploma. There's nothing but the things we learn through our lives that give us skills and abilities that you can leverage to produce things like this. Those life experiences that you pick up upon as a student here at Cox are things that you're going to take with you the rest of your life. Because when your train stops or goes to another track or completely shifts or something crazy happens that you never expected, it's the friends, it's the family, it's the experiences, it's the things that you've accomplished together that you will go back to that'll then give you the abilities that you need to go forward. I believe that. Next slide, please. After we had that opportunity, we knew that we needed to do this more, and we needed to spread this more, and we need to leverage what positivity can bring and take that light and erase the darkness. Bring joy. How do you go from hate, because my daughter has a terminal diagnosis. You think I was filled with hate? You think I had darkness inside of me? You think I was pissed off? Yes, yes, yes. But how do you erase that? How do you cover down on that? How do you make that go away? That was the question. And I found that the more people that could do what Ainsley got to do, that I could find and tell them about this amazing thing that their child, their little loved ones could do, the more that we could bring positive into the world. How many of you, show of hands, know somebody in a wheelchair? Keep your hands up. You know somebody has cerebral palsy, autism, multiple sclerosis, uses crutches, does not have the ability to run a 5K road race on their own. Look around. How many of you may now have an opportunity, thank you for your hands, to go invite them to be included in something like this as opposed to having them on the sidelines? How many of you have had people that have been injured, big injuries, put them in the hospital for a week or two, broke both legs, femur, something, crutches, wheelchair for a while? Yeah, you know who you are. You had opportunities in those scenarios to watch them just be put on the sideline or to include them in everyday events. All right, I'm gonna start losing you if I don't go to the next slide, so let's go there. Ainsley went on to do 100 races. Mind blown. From August of 2008 until October of 2016, 100 races without ever walking a step on her own. And along that journey, inspired her sister to run with her. They did 30 races together. Slide, please. Not only 30 races together, but then her sister decided she wanted to tell a story about it. So she wrote a children's book in the 6th grade about it. And it was published. Some of you might have heard of it. And then Dr. Joe Biden, the first lady, second lady of the United States, heard about it. And then we went to the White House. And these are all great things. These are great things that happen. Why? Because we didn't crawl under a rock, but rather we lived life to the best that we could and tried to share positive things with other people. Slide, please. It also started the establishment of a namesake charity in her name called Ainsley's Angels. Some of you may have heard of it. There's now 60 locations across the country, 30 states and Washington, D.C. I'm not here to really talk about that, but I want you to know that by not crawling under the rock and by being out there finding joy and taking your place from, taking your spot from a place of hatred to a place of joy through self-reflection and through by leaning on those around you that love you, that care about you, to be open and honest as you grieve actively, to talk about things, it can take you on that journey in the right direction. I am not preaching that, I'm just sharing that because it worked for me. Is it going to work for every one of you? I don't know, but try. I think I brought a video. I know I brought a video. Probably be a good time for a video. It's 3.5 minutes. And if you fall asleep during it, it's okay. We have a YouTube channel, Ainsley's Angels, and you can go watch it later. We'd love you to subscribe. Yeah, that was kind of, yeah. Check this video out.
Physical therapist named Peggy said we should go down to the local ocean front and allow Ainsley the chance to roll with the wind. We saw how the wind blew in Ainsley's face and it lit her up. We saw how she reacted to that just wonderful excitement of the crowd telling her that yes, she can accomplish a 5K road race, despite the fact that she's never taken a step in her life. We knew at that time as a family that this was going to be a therapy like no other. What we say often about Ainsley's Angels of America is that we're not an organization, but Ainsley's Angels of America is a family. It's a family that focuses on joy, it focuses on acceptance, and it focuses on the idea that everybody should be included. And in doing this, we all together can accomplish so much more than if we try to do this as individuals.
In several years, this great family has gone from Rooster and Ainsley and his immediate family to a couple more people. And now today, we're going to be doing and being part of Ainsley's 100th race. We have over 40 rider athletes being pushed by some of the most motivated, awesome, caring people.
As we go out through our Capitol and we see the Washington Monument, we see the Capitol building, we see all of these amazing things to include the Iwo Jima Memorial, we can never forget to take that moment to recognize those that have gone before us. Those hallowed grounds at Arlington Cemetery, some 200 yards away from where we stand today. To come here and do the Marine Corps Marathon as a Marine family, to be included in what's called the People's Marathon, to have over 40 rider athletes participating in what is the 40th running of the Marine Marathon in our nation's capital is just truly special.
Pushing the rider athletes is easily the most incredible shot of adrenaline. It's better than riding my motorcycle, than skydiving, than anything. You start off and you see these wonderful young people just who may not say much occasionally or may be slightly reserved, and they open up like a flower as we push through the race and people are cheering them on, and they see their flags and they hear people cheering their name, and they know that at the end of the journey that the team, which they're in charge of, is going to be crossing that finish line together.
We like to say that that individual, that rider athlete, pulls us through there. We put him in the chair. At the bottom of the chair, there's a foot plate that either says yes you can or together we shall or Ainsley's English. So if you're looking down, you see the rider, you hear their sounds, they're smiling, you got bells ringing, they're excited. They just pull you through. It's all about them getting them across the finish line. A lot of people think of it as a race. The best part for us when we race is, no matter what, we're behind that chair, so that rider always beats us. They always beat us by that 1 second across the finish line, and that's what it's about.
How it feels to push is that yesterday you were strangers. Today you're becoming friends. And when that whole mission is finished, that race is complete, you're family for life. And there's nothing that can really top that. To have an event, an experience where together you both accomplish an objective, like starting a journey and having mission accomplishment at the end, there's nothing more satisfying. But doing that together is so powerful.
So I told you earlier in high school I had no idea what really life would become. All I knew was that I was going to play football to the best of my abilities and I was going to go on to the Marine Corps as soon as I graduated. Still being in the Marine Corps today and not playing football anymore, I've realized that there's certain things that we just can't control. But along that journey, it's those skills and those experiences and all those things that we gather within that give us this opportunity to partner with other people to accomplish way more than you ever thought. I encourage you to dream and to dream big and to then dream again. I encourage you to not lose sight of the relationships that you form with your friends here as you go forth your years in high school and off to college or the civilian sector to the military. Just know that you all have traveled a journey together here at Cox. And that journey is your journey, and it's the journey that you share. I truly believe that if we believe in the opportunity to help one another, that the power of that togetherness can take us well beyond where we thought we could go. As we go to the next slide, and as I move towards completion of today's conversation, I want to make sure I'm clear. I'm not advocating that you need to go outside and run to California. I'm not advocating that you need to write a children's book as a 6th grader or an 11th grader or a senior. I'm certainly not advocating that you have to start a nonprofit. What I am offering is that you find what works for you. You find what works for you, and you do that in a way that leverages and harnesses the power of togetherness, the power of kindness, and the power of positivity. And it can take you to places well beyond where you currently are dreaming. Slide, please. We've had a lot of moments, very special moments. These things that I'll cherish forever. Slide, please. I'll cherish them like they were yesterday for what they are. I'll remember these faces and these smiles in those moments where I start to feel sorry for myself or where I start to fade things out. Like there are opportunities where you'll find the darkness taking over. In fact, it could even be putting you to sleep right now. That's your decision to go to sleep because you're allowing yourself to be influenced by something other than what quite possibly could be positivity. Slide, please. There's a young lady, as I kind of wrap this up, final slide. Her name's Amanda. She graduated from LSU, undergrad and grad school. She's lived her life in a wheelchair. When she showed up at LSU, She remembered the welcome aboard person standing up and saying, these are the top 20 things you need to do while you're a student here. And one of them was showing this picture of the lakes of LSU and saying that you have to go run around the lakes. Well, Amanda's in a wheelchair. Amanda doesn't run. This was something that she remembered years ago. And when she found what we do together, the power of togetherness, she said, I want to go back to my campus and I want to run around those lakes. And I want to do that with my newfound family. I want to do it together. And she did. She's gone back there every single year since 2014. She's ran around those lakes. She's completed half marathons, triathlons, and now she just got her own little bike that she can hand crank herself. And she ran a 18-minute 5K this past weekend. Why? The togetherness of showing the realm of possible and dreaming. That's what I wish for all of you as you go off into the hinterland to do God's work. I appreciate your attentiveness. I appreciate the time today. I'm grateful for being invited. I just hope that this was of some type of value to you. If you're looking for more, Ainsley's Angels is all over social media. Just search for it. Thank you. Good afternoon.